Kipchoge had to be a sub 2 hour marathoner in here before he did it with his legs. Roger Bannister had to be a sub 4 minute miler before he did it with his legs. And he rehearsed it mentally and emotionally and physically. So instead of trying to do something and pushing, like try like this, decide what it is you want, and then your work becomes becoming the kind of person who naturally has that thing. Hey guys, the reason I'm capturing this moment here is because you can unlock things that you never even knew, never even saw or considered in your training and in your life. So often with the runners who I coach, they're trying to get something and they come to me because it's not working. They've been trying to get their BQ or PR in this race or trying to overcome an injury. And one of the first things that I'll often say to them is that you should stop trying. It doesn't mean that you stop taking action, but it means that you don't push, you don't resist. And when you allow instead, then there's a sense of ease. And the beautiful thing about ease is that you can keep it up forever. You could do it all the time, for a lifetime even. And that accrues over months and years and decades even, and you can become a pretty outstanding runner. You see this on the starting line of the Olympics even with one of my favorite runners, one of the greatest of all time, Haile Gebrselassie. This guy, the commentators, they would say, there's Haile on the starting line, again, friendly with his big smile, and you can see the guy's molars, big smile, shaking hands with everybody and clowning around, but as soon as the gun goes off, watch the fire in his eyes. And then they say, to your marks, and his face, and he sets world record after world record after world record. And then after he crosses the finish line, he's smiling, he's hugging everybody. This guy knows how to move his emotion, direct it towards what he wants, focus intensely on that, and then boom, let it go again. And he doesn't push. He's pulled towards it with the joy of who he is and who he's becoming. And you can do the same. So here's a little story for you. This place that I'm staying at right here is very lovely, very beautiful. I love it here. But I'm wanting to move. I'm wanting to change my location here in Costa Rica, mostly because I can hear a lot of noise, and I don't prefer that. So I tried to work it out with my host. The logistics of it didn't really make sense. So I was like, okay, I'll just stay. I love it here anyway. It's fine. So I had a little bit of resistance. I wanted to change things, and then I just let it go, and I found myself sitting this morning in the morning sun, and I could hear howler monkeys off in the distance, and I told myself, don't fail to enjoy where you are right now. Don't wish that you were elsewhere. Look where you are. Don't fall into that trap. So do you do that sometimes in your life? If your running isn't going the way that you want, I can appreciate that. But is it also true that it's going better than it did at one point in your life? Is it also true that you're still alive and kicking? Is it also true that the injury's not that bad? It's just nagging. It was worse, now it's better. Is it also true that you still have your health in general and you can still take action? Maybe you still have a family who loves you. Maybe you still have a job. And sometimes we forget that, right? So as soon as I remembered and reminded myself, this is so lovely, thank you. Guess what? My host called me and said, we actually need to work on the septic system there. And so I'm gonna give you your money back for your remaining time here, if you'd like it. Look at that, poof. And exactly what I wanted manifest in a way that I never would have saw coming. But had I tried to push, had I tried to be like, let's change it, I really don't think things would have worked out. And even if they seemed to, they wouldn't have felt good. There would have been tension. But when I let go, it's amazing how quickly things can happen. So when you're running, I want you to let go of pushing. I didn't say let go of running. I didn't say let go of training. But just let go of needing it to happen and trying to make it happen. This comes down to your belief. When Eliud Kipchoge broke the 2-hour marathon, he had a belief that he not only is going to do it, but it's already done. The work is done, the team, the setup is all done. This is a beautiful thing. It's done. And when a reporter asked him the day before at a conference, what is your plan B if this doesn't work? He smiled. He giggled a little bit, and he said that there is no plan B. This is happening tomorrow. He's prepared. Let's go. Now that's the mindset of someone who is going to achieve at a high level. They know that it's going to get done. And they've prepared for it, and they've planned for it, and they've decided and committed, and they've resolved themselves. Resolve just means you see it as done already. So in your running, can you do that too? Instead of thinking of a goal that is outside of what you think you may be able to do and pushing to try to get it, guess what? When things come up, you're gonna fall short and you're gonna just say, well, I tried. So instead of trying to do something and pushing, like try like this, decide what it is you want, and then your work becomes becoming the kind of person who naturally has that thing. Kipchoge had to be a sub 2 hour marathoner in here before he did it with his legs. Roger Bannister had to be a sub 4 minute miler before he did it with his legs, and he rehearsed it mentally and emotionally and physically. So whatever your goal is in running, decide what it is, and deciding means that you decide and you resolve that you have it. It is within you. All you need is within you already. All I need is within me now. That's a great affirmation. And then you take action. You may take massive action, however much action you're inspired to do. And there's the word, inspired to do. When you know that it can be done. If you knew that you couldn't fail to make $1 million by the end of next week, what would you do? It's pretty amazing. You'd probably do a heck of a lot if you knew you couldn't fail. Look what the emotion and the belief can do to your action. When you believe it, your actions can be insanely good, insanely high. But if you don't believe it, if you just want it, your actions will be about the same as they were yesterday. It won't really change. Because does your running look a lot similar as it did a year ago? Maybe 10 years ago? Does it look similar? Why? Because you believe that you're capable of about the same thing as you believed about 10 years ago. So I leave you with that, my friends. I want you to think about what it is that you want, and then ask yourself, am I willing to decide and resolve that I can have it, that it's done? And if the answer is no, that means that your goal is maybe too high, or you don't have enough emotional juice and reasons behind it, and that's okay. But you either need to pump yourself up and get the emotional juice, or take your goal and make it something, reel it in a little bit. And I don't want you to just reel in your goals, but if you don't believe it, then you can't have it anyway. So reel it to the point to where you do believe it. And I encourage you to expand that as far out as you possibly can. But if you don't believe it, you can't have it. So you must believe it first and then let go. Thank you. I'll see you on the next video. Did you like that video? Great. Here's how I can help you even more. Click the link below, put in your name and your email. This is completely for free. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share with you the 3 things that elite runners do that you're probably not doing. They all have a system for how they train, how they think, and how they actually follow through and apply what they know. These are the 3 shifts that elite runners make that most runners don't. And I'm gonna share that with you inside. It's completely for free. Put your email, put your name below, and I'll see you on the inside.